Welcome everyone to another episode of Follow the Light Music Review. My name is John De Laurentiis and this is episode 9 in my series album reviews. And today I'm going to be looking at and reviewing the sophomore album by the melodic metal band Reign of Glory, an album called Slingshot. But before we get into that, I would like to encourage you to please subscribe to my channel, like the video, comment below on the video what you think about this album, and don't forget to ring the bell so that you can be notified of any new content that is posted to the channel. All right, so let's get right into it. So Reign of Glory is a band that was started by guitarist Nick Layton, who comes from Washington State and who has played with the bands FireWölfe and Layton and Martin, and bassist Layton Martin, who comes from Tennessee and was in the bands Vengeance Rising, also Once Dead, Die Happy, among others. And in 2022, they released their debut album called All Will Bow. And at that time, the lead vocalist in the band was Robin Kyle Basori, who has played with Red Sea and Die Happy. And he kind of possesses an earthy, styled vocal that I would say is akin to Deep Purple, Whitesnake's David Coverdale, that vocal style. And he was someone who had played with Red Sea and Die Happy. And drummer on the debut was Jim Chafin, who has played with The Crucified and Deliverance. So basically Reign of Glory is like a super group here. And their debut was a barn burner of melodic metal in the vein of Striper, and is filled with incredible bangers like Call Down the Thunder, Samson's Kryptonite, Writing on the Wall, and infectious melodic songs like the standout tracks Rise of Aslan, was probably my favorite on the album, and Love Came to Die. And there is just no doubt that this slab of well-produced metal is a best of 2022 album, and also features a great production and mastering by Rob Perez on the album. Sounds great. So how does the band fare in 2025 with their sophomore album, Slingshot, which features new vocalist Mark Boals, who has sung with guitar shredder Yngwie Malmsteen and Ring of Fire, and new drummer Jeffrey McCormick, who has played with Les Carlsen and Q5. All right, so anytime a band changes a vocalist, that kind of changes a dynamic in the band, and you just don't know how it's going to go over. But we're going to talk about that. So does the band fall into the sophomore slump, or does Slingshot live up to its predecessor? For me, the answer is a resounding yes. New vocalist Boals adds a new vocal flavor to the band with a high vocal range that many may compare to maybe an Ian Gillan or Michael Sweet. The album is filled with more memorable songs, killer solos, and hooks galore. The whole package is stunning, from the layout, which was done by my brother and good friend Scott Waters. He did an album cover design for this, which I'm going to show in a minute. Really came out beautiful. And the music on the album contained on the disc is fantastic, and it has a lot of standout tracks in there. One of them, one of my favorites, More Than a Memory, and there's also a fiery metal cover of the classic hymn, Holy, Holy, Holy. So let's take a look at this album before I discuss the songs. So here it is here. See that incredible design that was put together by Scott Waters, who I work with on all the projects from Roxx Records, Retroactive Records, and Girder Music. And he designed this cover, and I think this is a fantastic cover. Slingshot, of course, showing David conquering Goliath the giant here. Great album cover. You turn it around and you have some pictures of the band there and the songs. And then when you open it up, we have a label that's similar to the All Will Bow album. And the booklet inside, also very well done. This is one of the trademarks of Roxx Records, Retroactive Records, and Girder Music, is you get a booklet that has all the lyrics, readable, not in this tiny little print, and great pictures and great layout. And even today, sometimes I'll get some mainstream albums and I'm not as satisfied with the booklet. The booklet layout is not as good. So kudos to Scott Waters. He always does a great job. And when you open this up, you see a picture of Nick Layton, the guitarist there. When you open it up, and of course the lyrics. And there's a picture of the new vocalist, Mark Boals, here. And some more lyrics. More lyrics here in the center. And then picture of Layton Martin, the bass player. And then finally, a picture of the new drummer, Jeffrey McCormick. And some credits and things like that. And then a repeat of those pictures there. So just a great layout that goes along with a fantastic album. So let's talk about the album song by song. All right, so the album opens up with a song called Hold On. And this album opener is a fast charging slab of metal mania that grabs you instantly as it pulls you into its vortex of sound. Boals belts out his vocals with power and fury, proving himself to be a worthy successor to Robin Kyle Basuri on vocal duty. The song features gobs of metal melody, and the lyrics talk about encouragement for believers to hold on to God's victory when you've been through the fire. So opening up with a very timely message. So great opening track, followed up by Higher Ground. This one is a more mid-tempo rocker with some nice note weaving in the verses. Layton Martin has a solid bass line anchoring this one. The chorus is catchy as the words request to be taken to the higher ground where God's love abounds. Layton layers in a nice fine wah-wah guitar solo here as the song crescendos into this twin guitar sound that might make you think about Stryper when you hear that. And in this case, it's Nick, though, playing all of the guitar parts. Fades out with some more of Nick's wah-wah guitar soloing, so it's another great beginning of the album here. Then it goes on to a song called Unholy Prophet. And this is another barn burner of a song. And this one reminds me a little bit of Deep Purple or Stryper again in its power chording. Drummer McCormick provides a good solid beat to smash forward the lyrics, which say, Unholy Prophet, your time will come. Your kingdom of deception will be undone. Nick lets loose with an absolute shredder of a solo, but he never loses the thread of melody through it. So again, he's another one of those guitar players that can shred, but has that melody in there as well. So another one of the fine guitar players that we find in Christian music, in this case, Christian metal. So if you're a fan of tasty guitar solos, this one's going to knock your socks off. So that's the third song, and it keeps going forward with great song after great song. The next one is Slingshot of Faith. So that's carrying the theme of the title of the album into it by drawing upon the story of King David and his slaying of the giant Goliath. This song rocks hard with a chugging rhythm and a captivating chorus. And of course, the song's story of David's victory over the giant also applies to our walk in the faith, overcoming our struggles with the power of God's slingshot. This has another superb guitar solo from Nick as he layers in across the rhythmic landscape. Boals' vocals are top-notch as he belts out the chorus, and it has some pleasant classical influence motifs on the guitar solo fills as well. So another stunning track on here. Then this moves on to a song called Shout. This is a fast-paced metal song anthem. It's one of those songs that you're going to find yourself singing along with as Mark sings, Shout, can you hear the thunder? Shout, walls coming down, of course, making reference to kind of the story of the walls falling down in Jericho. Midway, it adds in some Led Zeppelin-esque melodic passages before it builds into another high-velocity solo here. This song, for me, has hit single written all over it. Then we move on to a song called More Than a Memory. And this song, for me, is one of the absolute highlights of the album. It's one of my favorite tracks. It's a mid-tempo rocker that has some killer rhythms in it and builds up to this anthemic chorus that ropes you in. Boals' vocals are as passionate as Nick paints. His vocals are passionate as Nick is painting the some nice note picking before it again builds up to this tuneful chorus. It's another song with hit written all over it. And I must respectfully disagree with the Angelic Warlord review on this one. He considered one of this song and a couple of these ones toward the end here as unmemorable. And for me, it's completely the opposite of that. This song is not only not, I don't agree with that at all, that it's not memorable. It's extremely memorable. It's one of those tracks that I want to go back, hit, repeat, go back, hit, repeat. It's just a fantastic song. Extremely memorable in my opinion. The next song, Unashamed, this is another song that got a thumbs down from Mr. Rockwell at Angelic Warlord, and I have to respectfully disagree with him again on this song. This song and the next are what I would call the praise anthems that deliver all the best elements, riffs that stick in your brains, passionate vocals, and the song features one of Nick's most flavorful solos on the album. And this song here, Unashamed, is what Petra, it sounds like what Petra would sound like if Petra decided to do a metal anthem. And speaking of anthems, they do the classic hymn, like I mentioned earlier, Holy, Holy, Holy. Now, this hymn was always one of my favorite songs to sing in church when I was growing up. And so hearing this song get the Reign of Glory treatment is definitely a joy. It opens with Nick wailing on the guitar as he dances across the fretboard with the song's melody before the song charges forth, bringing with it this appealing adaptation that brings this classic to a new generation. And Mark hits some of his highest notes on this one in his vocals. He's got a great range on here, and it's an absolutely delightful rendition. And to his credit, Angelic Warlord does give this one a thumbs up here. But he doesn't like the next song either, which I disagree as well. Shattered Chains is another tuneful slab of melodic metal. This one features some of Nick's most emotive picking and strumming. It's another anthemic one with a memorable chorus that claims, quote, "But now I am unbroken. By your grace I found my way. They can't hold me any longer, these shattered chains." There's nothing not to like about this tune. It also features Mark pushing his vocals into the stratosphere, and Nick offers another great guitar solo on it. So this could be, yet again, another hit single off the album. Very, very catchy. And then the album closes with Too Close to Midnight, and what an way to end the album. This song charges forth at breakneck speed, and it's reminiscent of some of those early Stryper high-velocity rockers that they ended a lot of their albums with. And this one has another riff that is just pure ear candy. The song encourages the Christian to stay the course. Lyrics here: "We're too close to midnight, but we can't fall apart." Like fight the good fight of faith, kind of that theme. And Boals here, he is belting out his vocals with tenacity and drive. And Nick offers yet another killer solo, with Jeffrey and Roger offering a raging rhythm behind the whole song. It's definitely another highlight off the album. So all in all, I would have to say Reign of Glory has given us another solid collection of melodic metal frenzy, bursting with tuneful songwriting, dynamic musicianship, and I think it's definitely a contender to be on the best of 2025 albums of the year. There's not a song I don't like on this album. It's great from beginning to end. It's just a great album. So if you loved the All Bow Down album, you're going to love this album. You might be reticent a little bit because, well, I really like the first vocalist, and he was great. But Mark Boals, man, he knocks it out of the park on here with the vocals on here, and it's just a fantastic album. So this one I can easily give 4.5 stars out of 5, and I look forward for more great music coming from this super group of musicians. So again, I encourage you highly go out, go to Roxx Records. I'm going to put the link below. Pick this one up. If you like this one, you don't have the first one, get the first one, maybe buy them both at the same time. I guarantee you, if you like melodic metal with expert musicianship, guitar solos that are fantastic. Remember when I did the ranking of the albums of Angelic, and I was talking about Dennis Cameron having such a way with melody in his melodies. Same thing with Nick Layton. Fantastic guitar player, a shredder who knows melody very well, and you are not going to be disappointed with this album if you're into melodic metal. So I highly encourage you to go check it out And check out their first album too. Like if you're not familiar with this band, check them out. Reign of Glory, super group, fantastic album. Definitely an enjoyable album that you can listen to over and over and over again. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that. I'd love to hear your comments about what you think about this new Reign of Glory album. Leave them in the comments of the video. And again, like I said, if you're subscribed to the channel, you'll see what's coming up. I have more ranking of the albums coming up soon. And if you haven't seen the ranking of the albums for Angelica, go check that one out. So as always, I'd like to encourage you to follow the light, which shines out in the darkness. God bless everyone.